Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 9. Today we're going to be doing a special Q&A video that has been a long time coming. You guys have asked questions, I'm going to be answering them in this video. We're going to be breaking down all of your Arrowverse questions. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. Okay guys, so if you want to be included in a future Q&A video, please be sure to go over to my community tab because I've just posted a new post asking for your guys' theories and questions and topics that you want me to discuss in a future video. But these questions are coming from you guys and from like a month ago or so. But for now, before we start this, I want to give a big thank you to my top tier members of the channel, that being Nathan Bell, Flash Freak, Bradley, Matthew, Jose, and Owlwatch. And a big thank you to everyone else who is a member of the channel. I really appreciate your support. And if you want to become a member, and if you're not one right now, click the join button down below and become a member to get exclusive perks, but also to support the channel. So for now, let's go ahead and get into today's main topics. Okay, so the first question we're going to be breaking down comes from Ambrose on YouTube. And Ambrose asks, this question was never touched on, so here it goes. Why was it necessary for Barry, our Flash, to stay in a coma for 9 months when other speedsters are getting their powers after barely a day? Jessie Quick was in a coma and Barry woke her up. Nora was up and running after a few hours. Zoom recovered very fast with no coma. So what did Thorne do to Barry that needed him to be fixed up for 9 months? So this is a good question, thanks for asking it. And now reflecting on that, yes, it doesn't make much sense that Barry went into a coma, but I guess the basic answer is everyone reacts differently. It's not natural for humans to be struck by lightning, and when it's something as powerful as the particle accelerator going off and that causing the storm and the surge of dark matter energy, I think that is the reason for it, because all these other species, they've got powers in different ways. But for Barry, it was because of the particle accelerator that the lightning storm began and he got struck by lightning. So I think it was just so much energy that it literally just wiped Barry out. And it's true in terms of other heroes like Wally. Why wasn't he in a coma for 9 months? Or why wasn't Nora in a coma? Like, I get it. It's a little bit confusing. They haven't actually explained everything to do with why people react in different ways to when they get speedster powers. I honestly think the people behind the show don't know why. It's just a thing from the comic books that Barry goes into a coma and after he comes out he has speedster powers. So I think that's my main explanation that I would answer to you, Ambrose. The fact that it was the particle accelerator and there was so much dark matter energy that it probably just wiped Barry out. Alright, moving on to the next question. This comes from Willie Jackson, who is a member of the channel. Thank you very much, Willie. Willie says, Ben, I have a suggestion about Season 9 of The Flash. In the end of the season, will Barry finally get to the bottom of why he went back in time when he was pursuing Reverse Flash? Because if Grant Gustin and the others would have done a Season 10, the theory that I was suggesting that would have happened next year in 2024. So what Willie is referring to is originally the newspaper article that they found in the time vault back in Season 1 when Barry and Cisco and Caitlin first discovered Gideon as they were trying to get more information about who this version of Wells actually is and the fact that he is Reverse Flash. It was confirmed in that episode. But they saw the newspaper article saying that Flash missing vanishes in Crisis, and the date on the newspaper was 2024. However, you have to remember this, in Crisis, everything changed, and that actually turned out to be in 2019 rather than 2024. So that original newspaper is null and void because of Crisis. And yes, it's a bit confusing as to why that exactly is, but if you go back and watch Crisis on Infinite Earths, you will understand that the newspaper changed because the timeline changed, the future changed, and so the Crisis event actually happened in 2019 rather than 2024. But yes, I guess it would have been nice if we continued with the Flash until 2024, and then it would have like been even more full circle. But talking about full circle, the first part of Willie's question is in regards to, at the end of the season, of Season 9, will Barry finally get to the bottom of why he went back in time when he was pursuing Reverse Flash. So I've talked about this in various videos about the original timeline Flash, or just future Flash, I guess we could refer to him as. I think we're definitely going to get to the bottom of what exactly went on and when this night actually was, because as we said for many years now, we know we're going to see this fight from the perspective of Barry, because it's just one of those moments that has been a defining factor in the TV show, and so it has to happen. And I've talked about this in a video recently. I am really confident that that is going to happen in episode 11 or 12, because we know Matt Letcher was on set during that time, and it would have to be the Matt Letcher version of the character, because that was the person that was originally chasing Barry before he got stuck in the present, and then everything kind of happened from there. He had to build the particle accelerator, be in charge of Star Labs, get Barry to get powers. But yeah, to answer your question, Willie, I think we're definitely going to get to the bottom of this, and we're going to see it at the end of this season. Okay, the next question comes from Jessica Friedman on YouTube, who asks, would you like to see the Arrowverse gang get back together one day? So I'm guessing you're talking about in the future, beyond the Flash ending. Obviously in the Flash season 9, we're going to have the reunion of Oliver and Barry. Really excited to see that. I'm really hoping we do get a Supergirl Flash reunion. That would be cool too. But post the Flash ending, and maybe post Arrowverse ending, we don't know what's going on with Superman Lois right now, or any of the future shows that could be coming. I'm not actually sure if we're going to get some sort of reunion. Yes, I would love to see an Arrowverse reunion special, like a one-off crossover, if they ever could figure that out in terms of like releasing it on HBO Max or even the CW, because the Arrowverse has found ways to bring back legacy characters from all over DC. Just look at Tom Welling returning, or Brandon Routh showing up as Superman. So I would love them to actually pay that off and maybe have one final crossover, maybe 5 years down the line. So yeah, I would be totally in for this, Jessica. I don't know how likely it is, because you would have to get everyone back. You would have to convince the network or HBO Max or a streaming service to put up the money for something like this. And especially if the Arrowverse is ending post Superman Lois, is there going to be enough interest? We'll have to wait and see, but thanks for the good question. The next question comes from Emil on YouTube, who asks, I am dubious about Supergirl returning in the sense of being right there with the other characters. More likely Melissa will be shown on a green screen environment or consulting Team Flash on a video call. Then he says, I think they are too cheap to fly Mel out to Vancouver and pay her salary that she would expect. So yeah, good question. Funny end to the question too. But I would have to agree with you. I think if we're going to have a Melissa return in The Flash, it's probably going to be some sort of call, maybe like consulting with Team Flash, or some references here and there from Nia in the next episode of The Flash. I definitely think we're going to get the Easter eggs, but if Supergirl does show up one more time, yeah, I think it's likely they could have filmed her on a green screen or do an Atom, just like recently when Brandon Routh showed up on a video call. So that is definitely a possibility. I think they probably just didn't have time. I don't think it was that they didn't want to pay the money to have Supergirl come back. If it's the case that she shows up in one of these two ways, or if she doesn't show up at all, like, it's not guaranteed. I have to put that out there. We've been talking about this because we want it to happen, and we've been theorizing about, you know, different ways of it potentially happening, but I don't think many of us who want her back have discussed the fact that nothing's been confirmed, and it's likely she might not even show up. So we'll have to wait and see. I am dubious about like the way she shows up, because I don't have any extra information. But good question. Okay, so let's move on to our final question. This comes from Spiros on YouTube, who asks, do you believe that Gotham Knights is going to be a part of the Arrowverse? So Gotham Knights has aired 2 episodes as of right now. It's got like a fairly decent reception. I would say that yes, in terms of like the people behind the scenes, they would probably want to link it into the Arrowverse, because they are from Batwoman and they have worked quite closely with the other Arrowverse creators in the past. But because of what's going on right now with the CW and the Arrowverse, and pretty much there being no future shows coming apart from maybe DCEU, however, that's still way up in the air. I really don't think it's going to happen. I think right now, maybe they're just focusing on trying to get a season 2, and that's all they're focusing on. So I believe that the creators of Gotham Knights are going to try and not incorporate it straight into the Arrowverse because they don't know about the future of the show. They're just looking at the prospects of everything that's been going on and looking at the prospects of what the future holds with Gotham Knights. It doesn't look very good. So I'm going to say right now, I don't think they're going to heavily involve it in the Arrowverse in this season. I think for now they're going to keep it separate to try and establish it maybe elsewhere if the CW ends up cancelling it. But the question of, is it a part of the Arrowverse? I guess it could be a part of the Arrowverse just based on who is creating the show and the fact that it probably would have been linked if the Arrowverse was flourishing right now. But because they killed Batman and it's clearly different from Batwoman, you can probably say if it was in the Arrowverse, it's definitely on a different Earth, because this is definitely an Elseworld story. So I guess it's like a similar situation to Superman and Lois, where they're kind of retconning things that happened on different shows, and obviously in the case of Gotham Knights, it's mainly retconning Batwoman, and with Superman and Lois, it's like retconning Supergirl and Arrow, and taking all these different actors or these same characters and giving them different stories. So overall, I would say I believe Gotham Knights is a part of the Arrowverse, but I don't think they're going to go into it just based on what's going on with the Arrowverse currently right now. And so I would say it's probably just on a separate Earth, similar to Superman and Lois. So that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. And for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.